Imagine sailing across a calm sea. The waves gently hit your ship, and the sun sparkles on the water. Everything feels peaceful. Then you hear a sound. It's a song unlike anything you've ever heard. It's so beautiful, it feels like it's pulling you toward it. Your heart starts racing, and you can't think straight. All you want is to follow the music. But as your ship gets closer, the sea changes. The calm waves turn violent, and sharp rocks rise out of the water, waiting to smash your ship to pieces. This is the dangerous charm of the sirens. They are creatures from Greek mythology who use their beautiful voices to lure sailors to their deaths. But who were they? Were they kind, misunderstood singers? Or were they cruel monsters who enjoyed destruction? To find out, we need to look at their origins, their stories, and why they are still remembered today. But before we dive into their story, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any more fascinating tales from ancient writ. Now let's begin. The sirens first appear in Greek mythology, especially in Homer's Odyssey, which was written around the 8th century BCE. The legend says the sirens were once companions of Persephone, the daughter of the gods Demeter and Zeus. But when Hades, the god of the underworld, kidnapped Persephone, her mother Demeter cursed the sirens. She turned them into strange creatures, half bird, half woman, and banished them to live on distant islands. Stories about their appearance vary. Some say they had women's heads and bird bodies. Others, especially during the Renaissance, said they looked like beautiful women with fish tails, similar to mermaids. No matter how they looked, one thing stayed the same: their voices. Their songs were so powerful that no human could resist them. The most famous story about the sirens comes from Homer's Odyssey. Odysseus, the hero of the story, and his crew are sailing home from the Trojan War. A sorceress named Circe warns them about the sirens. She explains that their songs are deadly. They sing so beautifully that sailors lose control of their ships and crash into the rocks around their island. Odysseus wants to hear the siren's song but knows it's dangerous. He orders his crew to put beeswax in their ears so they can't hear anything. Then he ties himself to the ship's mast and tells his crew not to untie him, no matter what he says. As they sail past the sirens, Odysseus hears their voices. They promise him knowledge and secrets about the gods. They sing about the glory of war and tempt him to steer the ship toward their island. But because he's tied up, he can't move. His crew, who can't hear the song, row the ship to safety. Odysseus becomes one of the only people in Greek mythology to hear the sirens and survive. Most myths describe the sirens as cruel monsters. They trick sailors and cause their deaths, but some versions of the story show them in a sadder light. The sirens were once friends of Persephone, and their curse was not their fault. In these stories, the sirens are lonely. They live on their island, unable to leave. Their songs are not just traps, but expressions of their sadness. They are cursed to sing forever, depending on the death of others to survive. This version makes the sirens seem like victims of fate. Still, this doesn't change the fact that they were feared as dangerous and deadly creatures. The sirens appear in other myths too. In the story of Jason and the Argonauts, the sirens try to tempt the sailors of the ship Argo, but Jason has a musician named Orpheus with him. Orpheus plays his lyre so beautifully that it drowns out the siren's song, and the crew sails past safely. In another myth, the sirens challenge the muses, the goddesses of art and music, to a singing contest. The muses win, and as punishment, the sirens lose their feathers and are thrown into the sea. The sirens are more than just mythical creatures. They represent temptation and danger. Their songs symbolize desires that can lead people to ruin. For sailors, the sirens were a warning about the risks of losing control or giving in to distractions. They also show the struggle between reason and emotion. In the story of Odysseus, he uses his mind and self-control to resist the sirens. By tying himself to the mast, he shows that discipline is stronger than temptation. Over time, the image of the sirens has changed. In ancient art, they were shown as bird-like creatures with human faces. Later, during the Renaissance, they became linked to mermaids. This new image of a beautiful woman with a fishtail reflected how people's views of the sea and women changed. The Renaissance siren represented both beauty and danger. Her song was no longer just a weapon, but a symbol of the power of attraction. The story of the sirens is still alive today. They appear in books, movies, and songs. In Disney's The Little Mermaid, mermaids take inspiration from the sirens. In Pirates of the Caribbean, on Stranger Tides, the sirens are dangerous creatures who use their beauty to trap sailors. In poetry, like Margaret Atwood's Siren Song, they are a metaphor for manipulation and the struggles between men and women. Even in music, the idea of an enchanting and dangerous song has been used as a symbol for the irresistible pull of art and beauty. So, were the sirens beautiful singers or ruthless monsters? It depends on how you see them. To the sailors they lured, they were terrifying creatures. To the sirens themselves, they might have been victims of a curse, doomed to sing forever in isolation. What's clear is that their story has lasted for thousands of years. The sirens remind us of the dangers of giving in to temptation, the need for self-control, and how beauty can sometimes lead to destruction. Even today, their song lingers in our imaginations, a haunting reminder of how irresistible and dangerous the unknown can be. What do you think? Were the sirens just misunderstood, or were they truly monsters? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Stay tuned for more exciting stories like this one.